Why bother meditating when there are so many other things you could be doing? I'm going to give you 5 good reasons. From a Tibetan Buddhist perspective, there are 5 mental poisons that we need to purify from our mind. And this is what the meditation practice is doing. When you liberate these poisons from your mind, this is when you are actually free. So the first one is close-mindedness. This is also known as ignorance. And this is the ignorance to reality. Reality as it is, not how we think it should be or how we want it to be or how it could be, but actually as it is without the stories. And when we meditate, we can actually purify or see things more clearly by dialing down the reactivity of the mind and learning how to be calm, which allows some of these filters that are always there to start to dissipate. The next poison is anger. You might be familiar with this one. It has many versions: frustration, impatience, and this really hinders our progress in life and it really hurts us. You might have heard the terminology that, anger is like drinking your own poison and it can turn into resentment, and then there's even been linked to cancer. So it's really important that we learn how to work with anger, and the meditation practice really helps us to do that by not reacting to any impatience that arises when we're sitting, not feeling like we want to get up. And if we do feel like that, we just learn to stay with it, which is actually helping us to learn how to stay with anger and not move away from it or distract ourselves with something else. The third one is attachment or grasping or clinging. And you really want to purify this because this is desire. This is what the Buddha said is actually the root of all suffering, is this incessant craving for more. You might have noticed if you have something pleasurable, you want more of it. And our mind is always trying to move towards pleasure and avoid pain. And so by meditating, we can become more aware of this grasping, of this neediness, of this deep lying desire, attachment for what we consider to be pleasurable. And if we can learn to be with that craving without reacting to it, well, then we're free. The chocolate is there, but you don't need to eat it. The cookies are there, but you don't feel compelled to eat the whole packet. This is what we're really working towards in all aspects of our lives. And the next one is what's called arrogance, but it is also insecurity. And they're actually 2 sides of the same coin. So arrogance is often a mask for insecurity. It comes across as being very self-centered and really focusing on just your own fulfillment of your own needs, rather than thinking about what's right for others in the circumstances, what's right for everyone, what is actually the bigger picture here. And this usually comes out of deep-seated insecurity. So it's really important that we learn how to become less self-obsessed and less self-referential. And the meditation practice really helps with that, because by observing ourselves, we can start to notice what arises in the practice. Then you can actually change it. What you're not aware of, you'll never change. So if you never actually learn to calm your mind and look inside and see yourself clearly, it'll be really difficult for you to change any of these kinds of behaviors, which often result in a lot of relationship conflict. They can, result in us pushing people away or being attracted to the wrong people. I mean, there's so many variations here of problematic outcomes when arrogance or insecurity are not addressed. And the last one, which you might be familiar with, is jealousy or envy. It's pretty obvious to see why this is not a state in which you want to reside in. And jealousy and envy are a real poison of our mind. They poison our mind state, and they block loving connection. They block us from actually receiving what it is that we do want for what it is that we think we want. And so it's really important, again, that by meditating, we become aware of these feelings, we become aware of these thought processes. So, like I said, this is a part of the Tibetan Buddhist framework of meditation. And, it's really about impulse control. So these 5 poisons arise. We want to learn how to become non-reactive, not necessarily detached, but equanimous, so that something can arise and we can learn just to be with it and just to watch it and be patient and wait for it to pass away, and that we don't need to react to every single thought, to every single feeling. So there are 5 good reasons why you might want to take up a meditation practice.